Hello, I'm Gazbot for Action Activate, and I'm here today to talk about this. Yeah. Well, this came today, the Master Morpher that I ordered from HasCon. I am so used to pre-ordering things and then forgetting about them, and then like 6 months later they show up that I can't believe. I got a notification from Hasbro, something coming, and I thought it was going to be a random figure or something. But it's this, and even though I have a replica that a buddy of mine made, I'm very excited to have the official. I'm excited about the price point, even though I didn't really have the money for it. But yeah, I got it. The funny thing is, it leaked, and people were doing reviews and getting this a long time ago. But one of the things I heard people complaining about is that there's a ton of voice lines from Tommy, aka Jason David Frank, and this is kind of like the last Power Ranger thing he ever worked on before he died, but also just in general. I don't know. It's got that to me is what makes it worth getting more, because I already sort of have a Master Morpher. This is the Tommy Master Morpher. This is the Jason David Frank Master Morpher. So there's all these extra lines that you wouldn't normally hear coming out of a Morpher, although people didn't seem to have any problems with like the theme song coming out of the Morpher, which wouldn't really happen. I'm not going to use this to press the button and try to cosplay like, oh, and now a voice came out and that ruins the reality of the cosplay. That's not what I'm doing. I'm going to play with it, push a bunch of buttons, put it on my shelf and enjoy it. That's what I'm going to do. And it's exactly what I wanted. I haven't even looked at it yet. I was going to do a real, like, here we go, opening it up and each thing. Everybody does that. This is just like I'm going to open it up and see what I think. I'm trying to open this and having a weird amount of difficulty just pulling it out. I noticed the 18 plus, which is odd, because even if it was like an adult collectible, then it would be like, okay, well, there might be choking hazards or other, quote unquote dangerous things. But 18 plus makes me think, is there going to be like vulgarity on the voice lines? All right, I'm going to stop because I was like, wow, like it's got all this extra stuff in it, like the stand and stuff, which I kind of wasn't thinking about. This seems to be about the same size as the like Legacy Collection stuff or the Lightning Collection new stuff, I guess. Very light. And then I realized, oh, the plates aren't metal. And like, I don't think there's any metal in this, like other than the electronics. So it makes me glad that I have the others, including the custom one of these that J-Man did for me, because this looks nice, and I'm sure it's going to sound nice, but it doesn't feel nice in the hand. It feels very light. So I put the batteries in, and I press the button. And I gotta say, I really do like that. What I don't like is this button is sticky already. Watch. It's sort of sticking in. I don't know if that's just mine. It's supposed to be doing that. So the button, I guess, is fine. When you don't have a coin in, I think you could push it in a little bit more. And if you really put a lot of effort into it, it like clicks, but it seems fine. I like this. I guess I kind of love it. I'm noticing now there's chips of paint in my Zeo Star. I don't know if that's supposed to be show accurate, if it came that way, or just by the light handling I did, it already chipped off. As a prop, this is not as good as other ones I have. As a display piece, it has the little mountain thing it goes on, which is cool to display the coins, but it's weird that this part has to sit into it, and it looks like it would slot in, but it doesn't. I will still use it to display. The electronics is where it shines. I like the lights, I like the sound, and that's kind of what I expected. I was really surprised at how quote-unquote cheap it was gonna be. Even though it comes with extra coins and more than the average Morpher, and it comes with that little stand, which now that I'm thinking about it, that might be similar to the stand that came with the Morpher that came out, because I have the Bandai Morphers. This is the first Hasbro Morpher I've got, so that might just be reused of that. But I was thinking like, wow, I thought this would be a lot more expensive. And that's because I thought it was going to be metal. So the cost now makes sense for what I would expect to pay for what it is. But all the extra lines, the color variations, the sound effects, I like that. And it was worth it for me to buy it for that. It makes me a little melancholy and sad because it was, in a way, Jason David Frank reprising the role, because he is acting. He is doing lines for each of his characters. And I've met him. I have his signature on a piece of art I did because we collaborated one time, and I gave him a bunch of prints, and that's very special to me. I also have a signature on the movie White Ranger Morpher, which is way less special to me because I wasn't a huge fan of the movie, and that particular Morpher is not even one of my favorites. The only reason I still probably have it is because it has his signature on it. But when I was looking at this, I had a brain fart, and I was like, this is the thing that gets signed. This is the thing that gets signed. And I'm like, oh, no one will ever have this signed. Not just me, but no one. As much as he was out there signing everything, like the ultimate thing to get signed that represents all of his characters that he did all these new voice lines for. Yeah, so that's a little melancholy, but I am happy I have it. It is pretty cool. I think if you're just collecting Morphers, you don't necessarily need it. But if you're like a big Tommy Oliver / Jason David Frank fan, then you must have it. You must have it. So overall, it's fun. I keep trying to pick it up. It's a fun piece. These have little slots to stay in, but if you move it there, they're going to fall. It has also, I don't know if I mentioned this, it has a little trap door to put the coins in, but I don't know what the point of that is because you're going to want to display them, aren't you? The button is kind of cheap feeling and sticky. The whole thing is a little bit plasticky. Here's the custom one I got based on the Legacy Morpher that J-Man updated for me, so you can see it's much shinier. This is one of those prop companies, I forget which one, where you can see it's like a clear plastic with a shiny gold, which is actually, I guess, less screen accurate, but open it up. It has sound. I don't have it turned on right now, but it is just the Mighty Morphin sound. And it's got the green. The lighting isn't as good. This is really good on the shelf and as a prop if I was doing a costume or something. It shines. This is really good when you want to play with it.
It's Morphin time.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention. I have a lot of sentimental attachment to this particular Morpher. I mean, a lot of people do because Tommy and blah, 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 blah. But the big dog and I think pre-Action Activate, when we were in the honeymoon phase of our Ranger love together, we got, because Ninja Steel was on currently, and we weren't doing the show until Beast Morphers. We got together and did a watch along of Dimensions in Danger. I was watching Ninja Steel, he was not. And but we got together to watch that episode at his mom's house, and it felt very much like we were kids. Oh, we're gonna go watch it. It wasn't a sleepover, but it could have been. We had snacks, I believe, in my mind. I don't know if that's true or not. And we had a lot of fun, and especially after the disappointment we felt from the Mega War. This, was it perfect? Could we critique it? Absolutely, but it was so much more fun and better than what we got out of the Mega War, especially the Tommy stuff. It finally delivered on the promise that had been given to us, whether intentionally or not, by the company in the previous special. So this makes me think of Power Rangers and, this one makes me think of Power Rangers and Tommy and Soul the Dragon comic and Jason David Frank, but it also makes me think of my friend. All right, so that's it for this. Take a look at the channel for reviews of new and old episodes and interviews and other things. Thanks a lot. And to the power? Sure, to the power. And no credits. Bye. So overall, do I regret getting it? No. I can't pick it up without the coins falling off, though.